This is the Altitude Daily Podcast. Everything you can't miss from today on Altitude Sports Radio. Moser, Lombardi, and Kane.
Should I write a letter to the puck?
Oh, for some puck luck?
Pucks. Pucks. Dear Pucks.
The last few letters you've written.
Yeah. Be careful.
Not a great hit rate.
Yeah, we actually got the one and only time we've been called into the principal's office on this show. One time in our history was the time that Moser went a little off the rails on a letter to Adam Silver.
Dear Silver Guy.
Now the difference was that was a funny letter. I like that letter.
It's actually a really good letter.
You've tried to do other letters and they haven't hit as well, so I'll give you the chance, but go ahead.
Dear Pucks.
And can we have like normal sentences and not these run-on stream of consciousness ridiculous? Let's have like normal sentences here. Let's go.
Dear Pucks, how are you today? Are you ready for a big night? Because we are, period. You owe us.
Wait, hold on. That
friggin' ass weepays.
That can't be just one sentence. It can't just be one sentence. I want the punctuation correct. Let's go.
Dear Pucks, period.
Period.
Comma.
Period.
Comma.
Yeah.
Comma.
Semicolon.
Comma.
How are you today? Are you excited for tonight? We are.
There's definitely a question mark that needs to be in there earlier.
Yes.
Than that.
I mean, come on, Moj.
You friggin' owe us! Exclamation point. Stop being ass weepays and bouncing weirdly. Do your job and behave well. Also, when Cale Makar shoots you, get through.
Yeah.
Use your eyeballs, use your puck eyes, and get through to the front of the net.
Not a lot of punctuation in that either.
Period.
Jesus. It's like editing one of my kids' papers.
If you do that, comma, then we can be friends again, period. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. Stop goofing around and do what you're supposed to do and not bounce weirdly. Love.
P.S.
P.S.
I'm not asking for the world here. I'm asking for an 8-ball and $2 million.
Hey, Pucks, I'm not asking for the world here. I'm just asking you, don't go straight up in the air and then hit a crossbar and land on my goalie's ass. Okay, that's all I'm asking. I mean, is that too much?
The Altitude Daily. The Morning Sprint.
We have 3 games of data, and the data has been compelling, surprising with Gabe Landeskog since his return in Game 3. Do we have enough to go on to say that Gabe Landeskog in playoff hockey should be on that top line, namely with Nathan MacKinnon?
So I do believe he has been good enough to be a top line player alongside Nate. I don't think you need to put him up there to unlock MacKinnon at 5-on-5 because the Avs have been far and away the better team at 5-on-5. We talked about the 5-on-5 numbers in game 5 when the Avs didn't look all that great, but they basically doubled up Dallas in 5-on-5 opportunities. You lost that game because of special teams and just really, really crappy bounces at the worst time, paired with you playing, I'd call it a C game. But at 5-on-5, you were good enough from a numbers perspective. Speaking of 5-on-5, the Colorado Avalanche, in terms of expected goals at 5-on-5, have the 3rd best line in hockey right now in the playoffs. The number 1 line at an expected goals percentage for at 94.4 is Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid, and Zach Hyman, who have gone nuclear over their last 3 games, taking a 3-2 series lead on the LA Kings. They can close them out tonight. Taylor Hall, Jesperi Kotkaniemi, and Andrei Svechnikov of the Carolina Hurricanes are number 2. They trail heavily at 82.8% of the expected goals percentage at 5-on-5. They played 24 and a half minutes together. Carolina ousts their first-round opponent in 5 games in the New Jersey Devils. The 3rd best line in hockey at 5-on-5, Gabe Landeskog, Brock Nelson, Val Nichushkin, who have played 18.2 minutes together and have an expected goals percentage of 81.3. He's been good enough. He's one of the main reasons why they are so good at 5-on-5 as a line there. So my question to you is, do you want to screw up that elite second line just to get him alongside Nate and take the chance that it works, or do you want to guarantee that that second line, which has been really good 5-on-5, is going to continue that type of trend in Game 6?
The Altitude Daily. Columbus, Hastings, and DMAC.
Let's get into it. Nuggets Clippers. Scotty, what should we look forward to tonight as we hope? And I think people are probably pretty optimistic that the Nuggets will take care of business tonight.
I got to put Mike down. I think it's going to be just like all the series. I think it's going to be hard fought. I expect the Clippers to come out and try to say that this series we believe we can win a game there. And I think you got to hold the fort. I think you can't panic. I think you just got to play. And then if you're within touch, I think once you get to the third quarter, midway third, I think they're going to realize, man, we got to do this one more time and get on a plane and fly. And I think you can take advantage of it.
You got to remind
him. I think this is a great chance to win a game on the road.
Yeah, you got to remind him. I mean, it was not too long ago that you're down 2-1 and Denver's won back-to-back games, right? And when that happens, if you can give the Clippers affirmation early on, that you cross your fingers and hope that they get the affirmation that they think that, hey, this ain't going to go the way that we want. So get your ball going again has got to be a key, right? Because I think the Clippers got to be looking at that like, what were we supposed to do? Kind of like we felt about Kawhi. If you can get your ball going early, to me, that's even better than getting Nikola going early.
On Twitter, the question is simply this: who are you more confident to win tonight, the Avalanche or the Nuggets? We just put it up there, so we'll see a level of confidence or perhaps anxiety. We'll keep tabs of that. Go to Altitude Sports Radio on Twitter, and you can vote on that, doodad. We'd appreciate it. What is unique about Game 6s, Scott, in general? And what is unique about Game 6s when you have the lead compared to when you're down 3-2? You've seen it both ways.
Game 6, when you've got home court and got the lead, there's a tendency to relax, and I think that's the biggest mistake you want. If you go back and look at that Phoenix series, whenever you won it, you went on vacation for 2, lost 2 down there, came back, took care of business in Game 5, and then it was all business for Game 6. But then you can remember Game 6 last year to Minnesota, same round, right? Second round of the playoffs, and you basically completely took that game for granted, took it off after fighting your way back from down 2-0 to taking a 3-2 lead. You just gave that game up, and then, even though you had the big lead, again, you rested because you got a 20-point lead and thought it was over, and you got surprised and caught. I think you take a lesson from the Phoenix series. A lot of the key pieces were in that building during that one, and you come out and try to blow them away. Who knows? Maybe Clippers fold earlier than the second half.
The Altitude Daily. Kretman and Lindahl.
Let's talk about Pat Bryant specifically. Number 74 overall pick by the Broncos. He was clutch in so many games last year at Illinois. We see the skill set that was on display, but he was so big in so many fourth quarters. Nebraska, Purdue, Rutgers. Talk about that part of Bryant's game, because you can have all the skill set in the world, but what I loved about the kid is he always stepped up in the biggest moments.
Yeah, he, just like you said, he just, whenever we needed that play, he just showed up, and I think that comes from his preparation. I've been in this thing for 18 years, and obviously I had Cortland and I had Leggett last year at South Carolina and Burks at Arkansas. I've had 2 first-rounders, and obviously Cortland's played well, man. But this kid, Pat, prepares. I mean, he was the first one. It's hard to beat Brett Bielema in the building, but he beat him in the building some mornings. Not every morning, but he beat him in the building most mornings because he was already in there getting his stuff ready for meetings and getting his body ready for practice. And then, he was the last one to leave the facility at night. Like, he just prepared, and it was just a confidence he has about him that he knew he was going to be ready to make the play and when we needed it, and he just always showed up for us. And I just can't say enough about the way he prepared, the way he got himself ready for those games. And there's no secret. I tell my guys all the time, there's no secret to why he had the success he had and why he made the plays he did. It's because he was ready.
Coach, I'm sure you read all the evaluations of your guys. What do you think was the biggest misconception written about with your guy?
I think a lot of people didn't know how well I was several NFL scouts during the draft process. Like when he ran his 4.6, like, man, I wish he could get in the 4.5. Like, well, just cut the film on, fellas. I was like, it may not look like he's running that fast, but he's not. He doesn't get called very often, and he's a really physical kid. So I don't think you have to run 4.4 and 4.3 to be able to play receiver. If you can get to the top of your route and you can create separation and you can win in a one-on-one matchup, that's what this game is all about. And Pat Bryant just has an unbelievable, unique ability. I think of the Kansas game. I think of the Nebraska game. Heck, just about every game he had a chance for a one-on-one ball down the sideline, and even if the guy was stacked on his hip, he found a way to make a play. So, I'm just so excited for him, and it's just the confidence he had. After the combine, I went up to him and said, "Hey, we'll get you in the 4.5s." The pro day, he goes, "Coach, I ain't running again." He goes, "I'm good." Like, that's just the confidence that kid has, and it shows up on Saturdays.
You've been listening to the Altitude Daily. Catch us live weekdays on 92.5 FM, the Altitude Sports Radio app, twitch.tv/AltitudeSR, youtube.com @Altitude Sports Radio, and your favorite smart speaker. Say Altitude Sports Radio.